Hello and welcome to my third video, the case study into the hypergamy gap. So when hypergamy was first explained to me, how sort of women are looking for the best possible mate, and all women care about is resources, all they care about is money, is the first objection, which is probably from my own personal example and many other men, is when we was at college and high school and university, we were poor, yet we had success with women. Therefore, hypergamy is false because women were dating us, and some even were having kids and families, and we didn't have any money. So, therefore, hypergamy obviously doesn't hold up to basic reality. Now, the trouble with looking at this is historically illiterate, because it's only now that women can no longer be sluts. And what I mean by this is a slut used to be exceptionally damaging to a woman's reputation. However, now we have literal slut walks, and everyone says, oh, there's nothing wrong with being a slut. Now, in principle, this is true. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a slut. However, the more men a woman sleeps with, the less likely she will be to pair bond. And this is not true for men. Now, some men simply are unable to, or do not want to ever pair bond. They want to stay their pickup artist. They want to stay a player for life. And perhaps even they know they're not husband or father material. But to quickly repeat the point, so the reason why people get confused about hypergamy within the modern setting is because of the society has changed so much that women can literally, the second they get legal age, start fucking absolutely everyone until they're ready, their looks start to fade, and then they're thinking about having kids. But even within college girls, we can see hypergamy in action. So, okay, who's the most successful with women? Players, the playboy guys, rich guys, the jocks, the sports, the athletic people, rich people, the guy with a fancy car, people with money, and then dare I say, we even have the outsider, the older male, who just obviously can absolutely destroy any college student, and they come in and get a bunch of the college girls. So even within like a high school, a college setting, we can see hypergamy in action. And also because the social stigma of being a slut has completely and utterly gone, women are at the height of their beauty when they're 20 years old. They're at the height of their power, their sexual marketplace power. They're absolutely pinnacle. So again, let's look at it the other way. If you know when you're 20 years old, you've won the monopoly, you're sitting high, you've got the maximum amount of power, why would you not use that to the maximum possible effect? So what do we see girls in their 20s and the 20 to 25 doing? Fucking as many guys as possible, getting loads of money spent on them, being taken out to holidays, being taken out, dare I say, some even get their high school and not their high school, their college and their education debt paid for by another person or an older man. Just think about that. And again, do we have the inverse? Have you ever heard of the inverse of a cougar paying off a guy's student loan debt? Has that ever happened in reality? Will it ever happen? However, we have multiple case studies of the opposite happening, where men are paying off women's student loan debt. I will also quickly mention, while I'm talking about sort of dating and the hypergamy gap, date whoring. So date whoring is where women go on dates with zero intention of proceeding the date to a further stage and simply getting free meals. Very much like any beggar or homeless person. However, this is inherently much more dishonest, because if you give money to a homeless person, let's say they go and spend it on drugs, they got a hard life. However, when we see women date whoring, and I know women who are 55 years old who still date whore. So they do all the talk. So they're sitting through and enjoying this meal on someone else's expense. But just think, imagine if you was the man doing that. Obviously, you'd be the one paying for it. But you've just got to sit there and lie to the other person, or lie at the end of the night, or just say the truth. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy myself. I don't want to see you again. But I was quite happy to take your money and your time. Now, I suppose I could bring up the inverse. There is men who, or players especially, that typically go out and take women's virginity and smash as much push as they possibly can. However, I think the women involved have to be extremely retarded if you can't work out if someone is a player pretty quickly. Now, the trouble with date whoring, when you're getting to know someone, it is a lot more. There's a lot more to it. It's a lot more random. Will you make it to the second or third date? And also, virginity doesn't have the same place in society that it formerly held. And the reason for this is societal retardation. So virginity is extremely important if you want to have a long-term successful family. I'll quickly mention about I'm not sure I can't remember what the American term is, but like childhood sweethearts. So this is when someone grows up with a person, and they live with and they get to know each other over years, and then eventually they decide to sort of become a thing. And this could have started officially, for example, when they were 18, but then when they get to the sort of the 25 mark, unfortunately, this is where the sort of the hypergamy hits overdrive for women, and they start hitting their reproductive wall, and then they start really questioning the guy as, is he the best possible mate? And 9 times out of 10, unless he has made something of himself and become reasonably successful in the woman's mind, because unfortunately it's all up to the woman what she deems the appropriate level, which could change every day of the week. Then otherwise they'll just go their own separate ways. And I've seen it kind of actually really affect a whole family when these two people have been inseparable for sort of 10 years growing up, and all the families really like each other. And then the woman just decides that, no, I could easily do better than this guy. Bye bye. I will leave it at that. Thank you for listening, watching, and goodbye.